noticed with a narcissist, if you ever lived with one or you've interacted with one, is their cell phone or whatever electronic they're using is always glued to their hand. Particularly the phone is always glued to their hand. They never go anywhere without it. And there's a reason why for this. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are a subscriber and if you're new, please go ahead and subscribe. And also guys, go ahead and check out my book for the kids, the workbook for the kids. The title is Because My Mental Health Matters. The description, the link is in the description. All right guys, why does a narcissist, why do they hack your electronic devices? Even though you can never catch them with their cell phone out from their hand. Matter of fact, when I was married to this person, he went so far as the bathroom anywhere with his cell phone. Of course, now I know why, but he never leaves it unattended like the airport. He's always with him, So why do they do this? Why do they hack anything you have? Like I said, the one I was living with was walking around with his cell phone all the time, whereas he was busy watching whatever I was typing, unbeknownst to me, to anybody. That's how he had information about conversations I was having with people, is that he was watching it live. Anyway, so one of the reasons, of course, is that to get an unfair advantage over you, obviously, because why you are thinking you're an ally, you guys are allies, but you are in enemy territory. You are the only person that didn't know you are at war. You are the only person that didn't know you are at war. So how else are they supposed to get information, get something over you? It's by hacking and trying to find out things that that they can use. So that's the only way to get an advantage over you, is that they have to find out whatever it is you're doing when they're not sitting there watching you. The next one is, of course, is that that they have to study you in secret. They have to study you in secret because, in as much as you have conversations with them and you tell them about all your traumas, you tell them about all the things which they are filing away, by the way, they still have to find out everything about you because, like I said, they're looking for weapons. They're looking for weapons to use against you because you are at war. You just didn't know you were at war with them, but they are fighting with you. So they have to study you, take time out of their day to investigate things about you, because, like I said, you're at war. And then they have to, of course, program you to stop interacting with certain people because, when they investigate you, you take your time out to watch what you're doing while you're, at work or whatever it is, or you're out with friends. Then I have to start questioning you about certain things where, even though that, maybe they come home, you come home and they ask you, oh, where have you been, or who you talked to today? And you probably, as your partner, oh yeah, I talked to Michelle today, or Tony called me and then we talked for like 30 minutes, or, me and Michelle when I hung out over here, or you be so upfront with it because, again, you think you are in a love relationship. Of course, yeah, it's a marriage. Of course, your partner, you're telling them stuff. No, but the thing is, because they've watched the interaction or whatever you're chatting with Michelle about, or whatever, they're now questioning you about certain things, and based on how they structure the questions they're asking you, you will see eventually with time you might not even want to start talking to Michelle that much anymore, or keep talking to Michelle that much, or want to hang out with them outside of whatever it is that you guys do, because this is depend on how they how they talk to you about that that relationship you have with Michelle. You won't even know when you're doing this, but it's because to maintain peace at home, because they've made it somehow that is kind of allowed in here. They're not comfortable with that kind of alignment with Michelle. They'll find a way, and then you see yourself trying to avoid any kind of conflict at home, that you don't do whatever it is you do with Michelle. Of course, the next one is that they need to know so they can sabotage whatever plans you have. And this is maybe school, you're trying to go to school, or you get promotion at work, or a new friendship. They want to sabotage that. That's why they investigate you. So that way they put the doubts in there in your head. They put the wrench in that plans you have with that new friend, or whatever it is, that something, they will discourage you, whatever it is they're trying to do. But the only way they know that is if they see you making that move in the chat or in a phone call or whatever, and they're like, oh, okay, that's not going to happen. So when you come back or whatever it is they're around you, they will find a way to convey that message. And you see you doubting yourself if you're going for promotion or you're trying to go to school, got to get another degree or a new friendship. You see them do certain things like that that will have you pulling back from those things. That's exactly why they do this. Now remember, they could ask you questions about what is going on in your life, which you would voluntarily give them, because you thought in a relationship. But that's not what they are at war with you. You just didn't know. That's why everything has to be secret. That's why they have to hack you. They have to track you because they know that they are at war with you. You just didn't know. All right, guys, get a hold of your mind and everything else will fall into place. Please like and share. Take care.